Aljo, I gotta ask you a question.
What's up?
That Floyd Mayweather story, is that real with your fiance? Was that a real thing? Because I even said that to my producer, Luis, and he goes, I've heard that story. Like, was that a real thing, or has the story just taken on legs that isn't true?
It's a real situation that happened. It's just funny because it's so long ago. I think it was like...
It was a long time ago.
2015, 2016, I think it was.
You were just starting.
I was just starting. I was undefeated on my second contract for the UFC, so I'm feeling good. I'm 12-0. He sends over, he's like pointing to my fiance and her friend at the time, or our friend, I should say. They come over, they send somebody up. She comes, she tells me, she's like, Mayweather just pointed to us and was telling us, like, waving us down. I'm like, so what does that mean? Like,
do you want to kick his ass?
No, but then
because you can't. Like, that's the thing, right? Like, you can beat Floyd Mayweather, even at the time when you were a young fighter, because you could just take him down and throw him to the ground.
In an actual fight, yes.
Yes, but that's what happens out. But no, you can't outbox him. But in a fight, like, that's what happens. Like,
Yeah,
what are you thinking in that moment? Because it's kind of disrespectful.
In the moment, I was kind of more of a young, hot-headed kid. So I'm thinking a couple things. I'm like, if Shorty goes down there,
it's over.
It's signed, sealed.
Were you long in the relationship, or had you guys just started dating?
No, we've been in a long. We were probably like 2016. That was like five years.
How long have you guys been together now?
2011.
Jesus, that's good. That's time we
We were dating before then, like 2010, but then we actually became like a thing, like an official thing in 2011. It was on her terms, so, she wanted to wait. Like, it's fine with me. I'm gonna play the field. But she's probably gonna hate that. But yeah, so going back to Mayweather, he sent somebody up. I go over to them. I talk to them like, "Hey man, I know how this goes. You're trying to tell me to bring her down. Nah, I don't work like that."
You went to him.
I went. They came up to our section because this is when Weidman just won, and I think he had just beat Vitor Belfort. So we're at the Palms.
Really?
Pool. So they go back. They come back again, and they're trying to recruit both of us now. And like, he said, you could come down too. I'm like, nah. I'm like, I've seen this movie before. We go down together. She goes in. They try to stop me, and it's gonna be an issue because I ain't gonna be made to look like no fool.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't care how many of those guys in there. I'm just not going out like a sucker. Like, it is what it is. So I'm like, you could tell him. So then I think I don't know if they came back a third time. I forget the story, but I told them to tell him he's undefeated in boxing. I'm undefeated in MMA. And if he wants to figure out what sport is better, we can find out today.
And that was the end of it.
I don't know if he actually went there and told him.
Nah, because that's probably somebody that was in his circle.
Yeah, he had his goons.
Yeah.
The boys are like, yeah, I don't want those problems. But I'm just saying, if he wants to find out.
Yeah, he can find out.
Yeah.
I always kind of wondered if that was a real story. You've been in this thing for a while now. I fought UFC 170. You made your UFC debut. 2025, you're still in the top 5 in the world. The motivations don't change. How do you stay motivated as you get to this point? And what is the difference in the feeling, right? The mindset in regards to training and competing, because you're just fresh off of a big victory over Brian Ortega, where I thought you looked fantastic.
Thank you. I think that the motivation is definitely different. And I think it just goes back to those goals that you write, the new ones that you set for yourself as you keep continuing to check them off the list. In the beginning, I'm more hungry. I wanted more. I'm a broke kid. I got my college degree, but I put it on the back burner to try.
Chase this thing.
Take a leap of faith and see where this thing will go. Thankfully, it worked out. But at the time when I could have gotten a full-time teaching position, I would have made more money doing that the first probably 4 or 5 years if I had just did that.
Yeah.
With the increasing salary, benefits, the pleasure of coaching kids, which is my passion for wrestling. So this sport I want people to understand this sport could take and give you so much, where you can find resentment, and it's easy to get resentful when you're having those tough conversations with bosses and things like that. And it's easy to get like just wrapped up in it and just find negativity in every single thing. So for me, it's just, how do I look at this glass half full? Like, these are my bosses. They ain't going nowhere. I'm probably going to be gone before they ever
for sure.
Point where they're going to be gone. So how do I look at this and flip my perspective that they don't hate me? They just don't prefer my style. And once you understand that, it makes it a little bit easier to have that relationship and to do business as best as you possibly can. Make as much money as you can. Take advantage of the opportunities. Traveling the world. Being a guest fighter. Meeting all these great fans from all over the world. I used to travel the world as a guest fighter, and then I would tell people and post on Twitter, "Come spar with me. Come be with me." And I would just have random guys coming into the hotels. This was before like they got really strict with letting in
people,
fans. China, they didn't do none of that.
They let people just kind of come in?
They were just in the lobby. I'm like, this is so...
Well, it's just a throwback. It's a throwback. I remember one time when I was younger, and I was in Strike Force at the time, and they used to do those UFC expos.
Yes.
So they had an expo in Houston, Texas, and I was there, and they were fighting. It was Gray Maynard fighting Frankie Edgar. Bro, the lobby of the hotel was crazy. It was a party the entire time.
How do you allow that?
I don't know. I just think that the UFC at that time was a different organization. I think today it's a machine. It's grown so big that it's a machine.
I think the risk versus reward with that, because there is a lot of potential for altercations to possibly happen, especially when people are talking shit.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't know. And that was always my thing, especially like with the Jan fight and the aftermath of that, not knowing which fans actually were genuine coming up to me.
Yeah, for sure.
Someone might actually try to do something stupid where now I'm putting myself in a position where I have to retaliate.
Yeah, well, it's hard. It's hard, right? It's hard not to be the fighter. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the conversation. I want to get into that a little more in depth.
But just with that motivation, I think the main thing for me is just understanding how the game works.
Yep.
And then taking more from the game than the game takes from me.
Absolutely.
And I think that's where I find peace and I can find motivation in one. Because before I got to a point where I was like, yeah, this shit's stupid, man. I'm about to just go back and be a teacher. But then but what am I giving up? I'm giving up an opportunity that someone would fight for free for, which I hate that fighters say that. But they would do it just to have an opportunity to switch spots with me.
Yeah.
You know, so I take advantage and I keep myself grounded and remind myself to be grateful of the opportunity that I have a skill set to do this and to be doing this as long as I have been. And to be ranked in the top 5 and top 10 as long as I have been, there's not many guys who can say that they did that for this long.
Absolutely. And you won that big fight over Brian Ortega. And so the conversation starts about, could I fight for the belt?
Oh.
Could I do this? Could I do this? And then Diego Lopez looks like he looked at Noche UFC. And so I'm floating the internet and people start throwing in ideas of what they want next. I see Aljamain Sterling and Diego Lopez. Do you feel like that's a fight that would interest you? And if so, like, if not, why? Like, why? Do you think that win justifies you fighting for the belt right now?
I've never turned down any fight that the UFC has ever offered me. That's the one thing the fans could say you faked and did all this other stuff. One thing you can never say is that I turned down a fight. I take on the toughest fights, the ones that I'm set up to lose in, because it's just better for business. And generally, I have always won. So with that said, Diego Lopez is nothing special in the sense of there's nothing new that he's doing that I haven't seen before. With all the 23 fights in the UFC that I've had to date.
Yeah.
It's not a fight I'm interested in. I'm interested in the belt. But if they have to fight another one and that's the opponent, then saddle up.
But there's like everybody's angry right now. Laron's mad. Laron's mad.
Bro, why are you so tight?
Laron's mad that you're actually even putting yourself in the conversation.
I'm mad that he's trying to take me out of the conversation. It's laughable.
Really?
You've got like 2 finishes in the UFC, maybe 3.
But he's only one. I don't want to play devil's advocate, Aljo. He's only one.
He's only one.
He just wins and he wins and he wins.
8 fights, maybe 9 in the UFC.
But then
I have twice as many fights as
I understand.
I beat a guy who fought for the belt twice.
I understand.
I beat more ranked opponents than he has.
I understand.
I fought an undefeated fighter and arguably won on a different night where 2 other guys got robbed. Sirgan versus Volkov.
Yep.
And the other one was Randy Brown versus Brian Battle.
Yep.
On another night, I probably win that fight. So just laying out the lay of the land for him to try to discredit me as a potential challenger for the title is kind of.
He doesn't want your name in the conversation at all. Do you think that's because he feels maybe it's
because he thinks I actually deserve it?
Exactly. Do you think no, or maybe when a guy like Aljamain Sterling starts to get into the conversation, now it's a problem because he's got name value, he's been a champion. And for all those other reasons that you said, right? I just asked you about fighting Diego Lopez. You said, okay, sure. If I have to, that's what I'll do. But you're like,
because I know he's not getting a title shot next.
Diego Lopez.
He just fought for the title. So
Yeah, no, Diego Lopez is not fighting for the title.
Yeah, so I ain't
but if
Lerone.
But if you needed to fight a fight, they may say you need to fight Diego Lopez, and you go, sure, I've never turned one down.
Yeah.
Lerone is sitting there going, I get it. He's got more fights than me. He's been the champ. There are a lot of reasons why, when looking at potential opponents for the champion, they go, well, Aljamain Sterling does fit what we need for Volkanovski.
And Volk said he's down to throw my name in that.
And that's even worse because for Lerone, Volkanovski was all in on him after he knocked out Aaron Pico. And then he says, I'm okay if Aljamain gets it. So you got to be able to understand where Lerone's coming from a little bit, please.
But they beat a ranked fighter.
He just beat Aaron Pico. They put him in the.
ranked fight.
Aljo, they put him in the hardest fight possible for him.
How?
Aaron Pico was a beast. On short notice.
I am not discrediting Aaron Pico, but he has lost multiple times. And he has lost multiple times the same way.
I hear you.
And then you come over, never winning a belt in another major championship organization.
I understand.
And getting a win and a finish in the first time in years for Lerone Murphy. And then you're thinking that grants you the title shot. And don't get me wrong, it was a spectacular night.
Whole main event, pay-per-view.
It was a big opportunity. And he stepped up, and I applaud him for that. He stepped up for the UFC. Mozart got injured. But if you're going to compare resumes and say, I'm not saying I deserve it over him, but I say I have a pretty damn good argument that I should possibly be next.
Because he is mad that you're even saying I deserve.
And also, me and Volk are the same age, man. Let the uncles fight, bro.
Yeah.
Let big unks fight.
You're so stupid. Aljo, when you look back,
I understand I'm a clown, man. I like joking around.
I understand.
I have a good time.
But you're going to get Lerone. Lerone going to be all mad. Either you playing with him.